Hey guys, it's Angelo Christian with Real Estate Insider. Today, we're in the COVID-19 shutdown, and we're doing everything on Zoom, and that's not going to stop us from moving forward. We're still pushing great content out with our podcast. And today we have a very special guest, the real estate mortgage guru insider, Mr. Robert Lewis, with Guerrilla. Is it Guerrilla Marketing, Guerrilla Mortgage?
Guerrilla Mortgage.
Guerrilla Mortgage, yeah. This is the authority. This gentleman's been in the industry for over 3 decades, done hundreds of millions of dollars in business, the go-to guy for commercial. And Rob, everyone's asking, are we crashing here?
Yes, it depends on who you are. We're definitely seeing an impact, and we're seeing lenders withdraw. We're still finding places to place loans and place commercial and place mortgage loans. But yeah, we're definitely seeing a pullback.
Okay. And so what I want to kind of talk to you about today, because what I'm seeing in the market right now, and obviously, you're the authority with real estate. And obviously, you're based out of Texas. You're in Spring Woodlands area, and you're a heavy commercial lender. You do SBA. From this virus and the systemic side effects into the real estate market, what are the implications? Because they're talking about that the numbers are kind of peaking. Today it's April 8th. They're supposed to be peaking in the United States by the middle of April. What are you seeing after COVID? What is the real estate market going to look like?
Actually had that conversation about 30 minutes ago with an investor out of Florida, and we're seeing, Trump was in Houston a couple of weeks ago talking to oil and gas executives. So we're seeing that first and second quarter are definitely going to impact. First and second quarter are definitely going to hurt. We're seeing people though, and real estate investors, et cetera, that are lining up for a third and fourth quarter positive finish. So we definitely see that there will be opportunities in the markets for investors. Talked to a gentleman earlier looking to pick up strip centers where he's seeing that the real estate values will be good. Definitely we'll probably have tenants that won't make it, but there are national tenants that still, we will be looking for places. So we're seeing a positive real estate, comeback in the third and fourth quarter.
Okay. So are you advising, do you think that people should keep their hands in their pockets right now and just wait to get funding, or because that's one of the things that even I get a lot of people asking me, and I have had, on my side of the world, people asking me, Angelo, is now the time to buy, or do you wait until there's a pullback? So what is your suggestion or thinking on that?
I'm seeing it on both sides because, even you and I right now are partnering together with a couple of loans where we're doing, hard money lending.
Yeah.
So hard money's still out there. Hard money's still an advantage. Maybe slightly higher rate, maybe fees, but, there's tax benefits to that. But
Right.
We see people that are still wanting to play and take advantage of opportunities.
Right.
So right now, for the now investor wanting to capitalize on somebody that's probably distressed, somebody, a seller that's probably nervous, we're definitely seeing people still take advantage of opportunities. So I know you and I talk to each other, daily, and our phones are still ringing. We still have people calling and looking for opportunities. So I definitely wouldn't say that from my home that we've seen a dead market. We see people taking advantage of opportunities.
Right. Right. And then what would you think? Now what I've seen, what is working, and I just want to kind of shift gears here a little bit into the residential, the owner occupied world. It seems like conventional's on fire with Fannie Mae.
Right.
Right. So I'm seeing, I don't know what you're seeing, but first time buyer. I don't know if a lot of you guys are out there in America right now. You can actually get a first time buyer loan with Fannie Mae with only 3% down. So you don't need 20% down like a typical bank is going to want. And you can usually get closing cost assistance to cover your closing costs. And then a lot of lenders like our company, we're giving up to 2 months free, no house payments post-closing to help people to kind of get through, COVID. And so I know because your wife is a broker and realtor, are you guys kind of like, kind of churning that up to market that to like the conventional buyer?
Right. Yeah. Because it's easy to scream sky is falling, but we're not necessarily seeing a full sky fall. So you're helping me with a first time home buyer that wrote a contract yesterday.
Yeah.
3% down, down payment assistance provided. So we wrote a contract this week, purchase price of $206,000, and then you're helping me with a first time home buyer program for that client.
Yeah.
A couple other clients that are teed up in the same boat where we still have opportunities, and in our market doesn't seem like it has slowed down. So we still do have opportunities in certain rural areas. And in certain growth areas, Houston, Dallas. We've seen some positive trends in Florida. So we definitely in California. So we see people that are still looking to buy, still capitalizing, but using programs that we used prior to 2007 and 8, where we're still able to get people into homes with low money down.
Right. So I guess one of the key takeaways then is that even though, probably depending on where you're at, 'cause I'm getting calls from all over the country saying, hey, my bank shut down, they're closed, they're not lending right now. Angelo, are you still making loans? And what Rob's saying with Gorilla Mortgage is that, hey, we're still taking in customers. We're still doing loans despite what other lenders are saying. And what's working right now is like what he said, conventional loans. Instead of what you saw, the biggest thing in the last 2 weeks with the government is with FHA, VA, and USDA, they changed their ruling now to a 680 FICO score. Whereas before, you didn't have to have really a credit score requirement to get an FHA loan or a VA loan. They're extremely lax. And so I've seen hundreds of millions of dollars personally of loans fall out on the government side until they give liquidity to the lenders with Ginnie Mae. So what we're trying to do now is help these first-time buyers or people trying to buy their home, convert them from a FHA loan to a conventional loan, or let people know that Fannie Mae is out there and we are an approved Fannie Mae lender to offer these programs to people, whether in Hawaii, Texas, New York, Florida, California. We offer it on a nationwide scale. So there are still programs because, to your point, there's still a lot of people that are working, still receiving an income, and they want to buy a house right now.
Right.
And you have interest rates at all-time lows, and so it makes it extremely attractive. And if you have a seller that is willing to negotiate to drop the price of the home, 2, 3, 4, 5% because of what's going on, then it's doubly beneficial, right? Because now you have a low rate, you have a lower home price, right? If there's been a long, DOM, days on the market, then they may drop the price a little bit to negotiate. And so, if you're smart, what you're saying, you don't have to just be a savvy investor. If you're a smart person and you're trying to buy your primary home, now is the time, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, definitely seeing it.
Yeah.
But the other reason why I like being partnered with you is we also have that customer that might need some credit help, might need credit advice.
Right.
And so with your credit boost and some of what you've been able to do with a lot of our buyers and borrowers is not just say, hey, no. And we've seen a lot of lenders just say no.
Right.
Rather than, hey, you're 20 points apart, you're 10 points apart. There's ways to create that person into being a buyer or even a refinancer.
Yeah.
So, with your assistance, we've definitely been able to take customers where a lot of people said no and see you later.
And guys, if this is your first time watching the show, if you wonder why I'm wobbling and why he's standing still, he's at his studio. I work off of, and you guys might know my story. Actually, I work off of a treadmill desk. So I'm always walking on my treadmill desk while I'm working. So I'm actually on my Mac computer on the Zoom screen, and I have a treadmill. And behind me is my backyard, the pool and all that stuff. So, it's not like a bobblehead. It's actually me. And so I like to stay walking. One of the things, I was on a podcast the other day with a real estate broker, and he said everyone was just drinking and eating during COVID, and they're putting on 20 pounds. So I can't let that happen to me, So I try to stay active as much as I can. And so I hope it doesn't bother you guys watching this that I'm moving around. I mean, it's just part of my thing. I like to be very active and do about 20, 30 miles a day. But no, you're 100% correct on the credit boost. So, because to me, and that's kind of what I was telling Bloomberg and CNN when they interviewed me, that, if you have somebody that is slightly off on their credit, right, 20, 30, 40, 50 points, whatever that is, why would you let somebody get denied for the loan and not try to help them? If you knew, it's kind of like if a patient walked into your office and you're a doctor and you saw they had an illness that you knew how to fix, you're not going to just say, no, I'm sorry, it's not on my MO, because I don't really treat the common cold. I'm a surgeon. Oh, a good doctor takes an oath, a Hippocratical oath when they become a doctor, that they're going to try and help somebody. And I guess maybe I have a Robin Hood sense of me because I grew up very poor, that I'm trying to figure out how to help people, provided that people can help themselves. And so we do offer, especially right now during COVID, free credit repair, provided that we have the ability to fix somebody's credit. And that's usually something minor. Somebody that has like a 580 plus credit score, we can normally fix their credit to get to 680 or 700 with the booster program. But if they need severe credit repair, we have credit attorneys that work for a fee to help them to clean up their credit. If they need extensive, it's kind of like if you went to the dentist and you needed a cavity fixed. Well, your normal dentist can fix that cavity, but if you need extreme oral surgery, your dentist is going to refer you to an oral surgeon. It's very similar to what we do with the credit side. If it's something that, instead of paying Lexington Law $100 a month, myself or you, we can run an analyzer or booster with our software to clean up their credit, get their score high enough to qualify. And why wouldn't you want your lender to do that? Most customers, they go to a third party and they're paying $100 or $200 a month. And then they run that tab for a year and they don't get anywhere. If you can have your lender do your credit, which is extremely unorthodox, but what we do here, it makes us different. They know what to do to get that score where it needs to be to qualify, right? So that makes all the difference, because if Angelo's work on your credit and he knows that you need to get an FHA loan, he knows you can't have accounts in dispute. The credit attorney doesn't know that. They're just putting all your stuff into dispute, which doesn't work for FHA. It works for VA. You can have accounts in dispute with you, but they don't understand the guidelines. And that's what a good lender really, really understands, the guidelines of the program and knowing what works and what doesn't work with respect to credit. So the point to what Rob's saying to you viewers out there, if you're trying to buy a home, and it doesn't have to be with us, whoever you're going to work with, if you need credit help, ideally we'd like you to be with us, but we're not just trying to sell you what we do. It's just that, hey, if you need credit help and your lender is offering that to you, take that and run with it, because they know how to get you through the system, to get you to the finish line, versus a credit repair company. They don't know the lending laws and the framework of how to close loans. And that's a whole different entire process and how to structure. So that's a huge point. We also do things like, closing cost assistance. Like we talked about the 2 months, no house payments after closing. Now that's a great time, great incentive. Hey, I can move into my home, and if I close in May, I don't have to make a payment until August. That type of thing. And it really creates a wonderful opportunity. So yeah, I think that's a huge thing. And then now I also know that, and I know we're going to do another podcast about this, but I want to talk about it lightly because I know that you're an expert with SBA. So can you talk about what's going on? What is the SBA doing right now?
Well, and that's one of the things that's been coming up a lot. My phone's been ringing off the hook a lot too. Is SBA is what I want to call it. A stimulus loan. So SBA right now is offering small businesses 3 different types of loans. One's a grant. The other one is a loan which helps for rent expenses, helps for business expenses, and then you have the third one, which is a payroll expense. So we're seeing businesses be able to sustain through these SBA benefits. But on top of just the SBA benefits, we also are seeing customers, again, taking advantage of buying new opportunities. We took calls today on a storage unit. One's, buying a daycare. The other one's, looking at buying an auto complex. All of them of which would qualify on SBA. So as banks are withdrawing to some point, you and I are working on a hotel together through SBA when 99.8% of banks are saying, no way, we're not doing hospitality. Right. So we're definitely seeing SBA be a play for the commercial real estate where banks are withdrawing. We have the SBA as a benefit because it's a guaranteed loan. So the bank is guaranteed to do this loan in the event of default. So This is a benefit that we're using in the market to be able to capture opportunities, like a hospitality or like other businesses, small businesses, where somebody can capitalize and have a low down payment versus a normal bank commercial loan. So you can buy a existing real estate business owner occupied with 10% down, where a bank would be looking at 20 to 25 to 30% down. So definitely another way to capitalize in the market using a government program.
Right. So what you're saying is that commercial lending is not dead right now, that it's in fact very much alive, and you can get it through government programs like the SBA.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So we actually have one that was approved 2 days ago or a couple of days ago, which is a distillery that will go to downtown Houston. So $1.6 million SBA loan for a distillery, a brand new startup distillery. So definitely we still are seeing opportunities and even seeing opportunities for startup companies utilizing the SBA program.
Nice. That's amazing. Yeah. So, that's a good take. I want to do a separate video with you on the SBA and talk about the guidelines and the different programs. I think that's a whole different animal in itself. So now, so basically, some of the key takeaways, though, that I think that are really important here for viewers is you're saying that if you are looking to buy a house, don't be scared. Now is the time to look for opportunity. Right. Look at doing a conventional loan, or if you're trying to do a government loan, reach out to us to get that credit boost until the market's normalized, because interest rates are at an all-time low. I'm seeing 30-year fixes in the 3s. And just a month ago, they were, in the 4s. So what that translates to is that you get a cheaper house payment. So if you're looking to buy a house, now is a wonderful time because you get a lower payment. And here's the thing, guys, even if you're in an industry or environment that is on a pause, like let's say you work for Disney has the expectation that it's going to reopen, right? You can't think that, Disney's not going to reopen, within the next 30 days or 60 days, and they're paying payrolls to their employees. So a lot of people tell me, well, Angelo, I want to buy a house, but I don't know, my job has us on like a furlough. They're at a stay right now because, we don't know what's going to happen with the virus. And what I tell people is that, look, everyone has the expectation here. We're packaging up your file, getting the loan ready to close this summer, because, we all have that expectation and belief and faith that the U.S. economy is going to get back on its feet. We're going to get to work, and we're going to pick up momentum again. Like what you said in the beginning of the call, is third and fourth quarter, we're going to finish very strong. So don't miss out, because if a seller is willing to sell to you and make a deal, now is the time, right? Whether it's a car lot, like you mentioned, or a hospitality, maybe right now might be a darn good time to look at purchasing a hotel. Would you agree?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, because maybe that seller says, well, look, oh man, I got to get out of this thing because, we have, no vacancy, and maybe a smart investor might be able to pick that up at a 20 or 30% discount. And what you're saying is they could use the SBA provided that they qualify for SBA financing.
Right. Correct.
Right. So the whole point is that if you look at how a lot of the wealthiest people got rich is when there was blood in the streets. Right. And that's when you see opportunity. such as now. I mean, in 2008, I was buying rental properties for 50 cents on the dollar. And so that's the thing. I mean, if you're watching on the sidelines right now and you're seeing, hey, what do I do? Because I'm seeing a lot of negative publicity, a lot of bad content out there saying that we're crashing and that we're going to have a mortgage meltdown. And I would say, and I think you would agree, Rob, is to kind of step in and look for those deals, bargain hunting, whether you're a first-time buyer or you're a sophisticated investor. Right. And so I think that's a huge, and what we're telling you guys out there is we have the products. What's working right now is conventional loans, and you don't need 20% down like a bank's going to need, like a Regions or a Wells or a Chase or a Trustmark. You can actually just do it with 3% down. Okay. And you get down payment assistance, get closing cost assistance, or an SBA loan. Now what I'm seeing that most of the commercial lenders out there are dead and they're on a hold. We had Rob and I working on commercial deals today. We're supposed to be getting LOIs, and now they're like, oh, we're not lending anymore until Q3. So, but the SBA is still lending. So if you're doing an owner-occupied transaction, where at least, is it 51% has to be?
Right, correct. 51% owner-occupied.
Okay. So if you're at least 51%, that means you can have 49% that's tenant. Then you could do an SBA loan, and you only have to put 10% down. Okay, and interest rates are really low right now too. Okay, and they're making those loans. So whether it's hospitality or a restaurant or what I think you said you're doing a distillery, so you can still get funding, guys. So don't be discouraged. Don't give up, and you can actually reach out to us. You know how you can always get a hold of us. You can call us at 832-431-6331. You can reach out to Rob. All his contact information will be in the description. You can call us, email us. And so is there any advice that you'd have for people as far as how to get their file ready for the lender? Because I see a lot of loans, they get denied because the sponsor or the customer doesn't have their package ready. So do you have any advice on that, Rob?
Yeah. So one thing that we do offer within our company is the ability to help you structure and help you put together your file. So it's always smart. Personal financial statement. A lot of people don't even know what that is. So, but we can help you put together your personal financial statement, put together your 3 years business tax returns, 3 years personal tax returns, and help you place the package together so that we do not submit to the lender or submit to SBA unless we have a file that we know has a 99% shot at getting approved. So we will help handhold through that process and ensure that we definitely have an approved package. Where a lot of lenders will put it together, wish it the best of luck, and that's not the position we want our customers in.
Right. And that's kind of like, I guess, like if you're going to court, usually attorneys and even prosecutors and judges say it's very dangerous to represent yourself, and it's good to have a top expert attorney on your case. And what Rob is telling you is that that if you're out trying to get securitized funding, whether you're a first-time buyer or you're trying to buy a $50 million apartment complex, that you have to have an expert package and structure with a lender that really knows what they're doing. And what he's saying is that we can help you to structure and package your loan so that it actually gets approved, because there's a lot of great loans in the graveyard because they never got funded because the guy couldn't put his deal together. He didn't know about a pro forma or an exit strategy or what a personal financial statement was. He owned a piece of dirt that was worth a lot of money, but couldn't put it all together. So he just sat there.
Right.
So it's really, really important that you reach out to someone that can help you with your package to get your financials, your rent roll, your pro forma, your taxes, your W-2s, your bank statements, whatever that is. So that way you have a very good structure in place. So that way you can actually get approved for the loan, because, if you submit your financials or you apply for a loan to the SBA, for example, and it's not 100% complete, it just gets kicked to the curb. And they just service the loans they have a special pile set aside for people that don't meet those criteria. They don't have a good package. And then the underwriter just work on the good loans. That's what we do at our company. We get 100 new customers generally a day. Right now, probably about 40. And we just focus on the ones that are ready to go and that they're responsive, they're motivated, they get their things in. And the ones that they hee and haw because they don't have all their stuff or that they can't get things done, they just kind of get set to the side, right. And so it's really important that you take the time to get the things that you need and you submit a good package to your lender or you get them the things that they need. So then that way you do have a high success rate to close the loan, right? Because the loan's not going to close and they're not going to cut any shortcuts for you just because you're you and, you have a nice asset or you have a lot of money in the bank. You still got to get your stuff, So that's another service that, Rob has with Gorilla and that we can help you with. So, yeah, I think that's very, very cool. So, any other key things that you think for preparation to go through these treacherous waters right now? Any other suggestions that you can tell the viewers?
I mean, just like most conversations I've been having with a lot of people, look for opportunities. I mean, this is not the time to quarantine and sit with with your ice cream and watch TV. This is your time to look for opportunities.
Yeah.
So, the ones that I really think will really do strong in third and fourth quarter, conversations you and I've had over and over again, is where are the opportunities? Where can we reinvent ourselves? Where can we use current programs that are available to capitalize so that we can build our long-term wealth?
Right.
So, definitely when working with a lender, listen to that lender. Banks have withdrawn, but again, they're still working. But just like what you said earlier, they're working with those that they can tell are serious, motivated to want to close. And so definitely look for opportunities and be willing to do what you have to do to get these opportunities, taken care of.
Right. Right. Okay, cool, man. Well, thank you so much. I know you're busy. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I'm really grateful for you, being on the show today, talking, encouraging the world out there to let everyone know the sky is not falling, we're not crashing, and that we're here to help you, to support you as your lender, your friend, in any way that we can to close on your real estate transactions. You can reach us. You can click on the link below to get pre-approved, to get signed up, and one of our lenders will be contacting you, or you can call us at any time at 832-431-6331. I also want to encourage you to check out the podcast that we just shot with Dr. Patrick Price on how to protect your body from the coronavirus. He's an expert East Coast doctor with Eastern medicine and the natural way on how to protect your body from the virus. He has some very, very good tips and techniques that actually I've been using. You got to watch that podcast. Very, very powerful. Robert, thank you so much with Gorilla Mortgage for being on the show today. Guys, check this out. If you have any questions, need help with funding, reach out to our office. Call us at 832-431-6331. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angelo. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.